Amidst the sweet saps of dicots and the monocot palms, a slight wind catches my interest. Ah, it's just a breeze. Good tidings, too, over there. And with us today, we take a trip back into the Pride collection, and we land upon Breeze. Now, this was released around 2024, and it is marketed as a unisex fragrance, as well as being an eau de parfum that leans heavy into clean flowers and just a wee bit of bitter woods with a slight homage to MFK 724. And as you can tell, it's a little bottle, and as you can also tell, this is from the Discovery set, as you can see. I wanted to try more fragrances from the Pride line, but didn't feel like buying whole bottles, as well as I couldn't find decants for some of the interesting ones that I come across for their note profiles. So luckily, and lo and behold, Discovery set. I always appreciate a fragrance house that has miniatures and/or sample sizes of their bottles. For instance, the wonderful Versace little miniature set that they have there. Now, I will say the design with this is rather nifty. A sketch of a face in the branches of who knows what, I suppose. Not too shabby, and as you can tell, it's just a scaled down version of the normal size bottle. But now, what notes can we expect? Let's take a peek. Our top notes will be bergamot, incense, and cardamom. Those middle notes will be cyclamen and jasmine. As for those base notes, we're going to have cedar, musk, and sandalwood. And as usual, we're going to do one spray for the sky, and of course one for the skin. Small little spray right there. And one for the skin. And as usual, we'll let that sit for just a moment, and we'll be right back. And we are back. Now, I will say the first thing to smell out of this, it has a very strong, almost like scratchy scent of bergamot, and it's very floral heavy too right away. Don't really get any of the incense layer from this. I don't know if it's just in there to kind of anchor onto those other two scents to push them forward for the initial note profiles. Maybe, just maybe. And it is just a little harsh in its opening, to be honest. A rather odd smell that I picked up on this too is it kind of smells like one of those containers of Italian seasoning. Now, I like to make pizza dough at least once a week, and it has this similar smell of like proofing bread and/or dough, as well as the seasonings inside of there just kind of doing their little marionette and what have you. It's definitely on the same wavelength as that, and it's just a bit strange to say the least. Now, I will say if the scent was just more or less that opening, it would be an instant and/or a hard no for me. But the dry down is where the sun really says hello through all those little noisy clouds that this fragrance is. For the dry down, I will say that floral is still there, but the woodiness and a little bit of the musk start to play its part as well. In my opinion, it kind of brings the scent back to like, not too shabby category. The scent is more or less an absence of sweet, and it's more heavy on like the greens and browns of the forest. For initially price, a full bottle of this is around $23, so another low barrier to entry for a fragrance. And if you're curious about the thing behind me that I got this from, it's like 25 bucks or so. Not sponsored, obviously, I guess that goes without saying, but more or less just to be a little transparent about prices around here when I pick things up. So around $5-ish, give or take, for this bottle, if you just kind of divide the 5 up behind them. For performance, its cloud cardio is okay. On my skin, I smelled it for about 3-ish hours or so, and on my clothes, maybe 7, not too much more than that, honestly, so nothing too wild, nothing too crazy, nothing too out of the ordinary. As for the projection, its cloud cape, at least to me, is pretty intimate. It doesn't really seem to bloom from that far away from oneself, and more or less the sillage as well is pretty tight. There's not much going on there. You're not going to make too many pockets rocking around, buildings and what have you, or office spaces. A breeze of the name will be just of that. It'll be passing in the wind and there won't be much behind it. That makes sense, I suppose. For practicality, I'm leaning towards warmer days. It can get a little, how do I say, like minerally or somewhat of a sourish thing going on. So I would leave this more so for like the spring to reduce its chance to really magnify if it is a little bit warmer outside. So just keep that in mind. Now the scent to me is also, it's really not mass appealing. It almost seems to be on that more, what I would call like a niche scent, I suppose. I don't have a ton of experience with niche scents, but the few that I have, it kind of reminds me of some more of that wavelength or what have you. That is, there's not really much of a fresh thing. There's not really much fruit. There's not really sweet profiles. There's not really a warm, spicy thing. It's just kind of its own weird little circle of smells, I suppose. So probably keep it on in areas you really don't care about others' scent opinions, and or if someone's going to complain about you wearing this. It's not going to suffocate them, obviously, but at the same time, it's not going to be super duper pleasant. When I initially got this, I was prepared for more of a fresh scent from some of the note profiles in it, but honestly, not a whole lot. More of, as I said prior, little greens, little browns, a little proofing of the dough type of smell with a hint of Italian seasonings or something like that. Now, with all that being said, I would give it a 3 out of 5 little clouds. It's a cheap scent, doesn't fade too fast. It's close to the skin. It's not appealing to the general public, in my opinion. More so, indifference would be my best label for it. And if all that doesn't really sound like your jam, then this probably won't be your jazz. Feel free to like and subscribe. I never mind it, and I always do appreciate it, and I always do appreciate you. Anyhow, anywho, and anyway, I appreciate you stopping on by as always, and I do hope to see you again real soon. Goodbye for now.